Welcome back to CryptosRUs. I am George. We're all George. In this late night stream, I want to talk about Bitcoin and how it dipped and how people are freaking out once again. So I'm coming on to let you guys know to stay strong, to get diamond hands, and don't fall for the whale-ish games. I've always said whale-ish games. Yes, don't fall for whale-ish games because that's what they tend to do to scare retail investors out, and don't be panicking. So let's take a look at what's going on with Bitcoin. Also, look at altcoins because they are holding very strong. In fact, many are still in the green, which is why my earlier video was talking about altcoin season. And yeah, this proves that altcoin season is here. And also, I'm going to do something different. I'm going to look at some projects I normally don't look at. Ones that I despise, ones that I don't like. But I'm going to look at them anyways, just for you guys, because they have been doing well. But yeah, I'm here to please, so I'm going to take a look at them. All right. Thanks for tuning in. As always, smash your like, subscribe to the channel. 2 streams every day. 11 a.m., 8 p.m. Central Standard Time. So make sure you hit that subscribe button and hit that notification bell and follow me on Twitter and Facebook, especially Twitter. I'm nearing 40,000 followers on Twitter. That's pretty darn good. So, all right, let's do this. Those of you guys in the chat, welcome. Changing my screen here. 54,895. Let's just round up to 55,000. So Bitcoin took a little breather down from 57 down to 55. But again, I don't know why anyone is panicking at 55,000 Bitcoin. I mean, come on, just take a step back and realize Bitcoin is at $55,000. I've been saying how Bitcoin is stuck in this range, right? Right around here, 54, 55,000 and 60,000. And it's been going up and down pretty steadily within that range. So again, why is there any panic? I don't know. Now, I did mention about this is Bitcoin's futures expiration week with CME futures. So there could be some volatility, right? So we're seeing it now, but what it's looking like is whales doing whalish things and trying to drive you out, trying to break your diamond hands. But diamonds are the hardest materials on earth, I think. Yeah, hardest substance on earth. And the only way to break diamonds or cut diamonds is with other diamonds, and that's it. So as long as you have diamond hands, you're going to be just all right, okay? Don't panic. Don't ever panic sell. Don't panic when Bitcoin is at 55,000. I mean, there's zero reasons to be panicking at this point. And what you should do is licking your chops and take advantage of the bargains to be had. I mean, honestly, there's a lot of bargains. My internet is flaky a little bit. Hopefully it stabilizes. I'm noticing my internet's kind of going up and down. Hopefully it stabilizes. Hopefully I'm not getting DDoS by F2 Pool right now. Maybe not. I don't know. Maybe I am getting a little bit. So hopefully this corrects itself. Anyways, let's move on. Well, speaking about F2 Pool, is there anything going on? Well, I can't see anything because CryptoQuant changed their thing, so I can't see anything. So I don't know what's going on with F2 Pool, but what I do know is this happened, and someone pointed this out to me too. But yeah, there's someone that transferred about 125 million Bitcoins from Zappo, which is basically a custody service, wallet/custody service, to Binance. So this freaked a lot of people out, and this could be why Bitcoin dipped a little bit, right? And why would they want this to happen? Well, because of Bitcoin futures expiration. Maybe they want to drive Bitcoin as low as possible before expirations happen, so they could pick up more Bitcoin before the next leg up. There's a lot of theories out there, right? But what do we know at this point? We know that the whales, okay, and when I say whales, I'm talking about the big whales, the institutions, the public trade companies, the Michael Saylors of the world. They're buying and buying and buying and buying behind the scenes on the OTC market. They buy without affecting the price. The ones that are affecting the price, they're driving things up and down, right? Trying to scare retail people out, but just know that the institutional investors, the truly the big whales behind the scenes, they're buying as much as possible. That's what we need to follow. We need to have diamond hands and pick up when we can. Buy cheap Bitcoins and dollar cost average and hold them for life-changing wealth. It's just as simple as that, right? So some of you guys new in the space, you're not used to volatility. This isn't even a volatility. I don't even know what this counts as, because if you look at the day-to-day, it's actually up. Bitcoin actually from this time yesterday is actually up 1.5%. So I don't even know how you could count this as a dip. It's not a dip at all. But I see it. You know, I'm trying to crack a few jokes on Twitter and people just don't get it. They're like all serious about it. They're like, why are you telling us to sell? I've never said anything of that nature. People need to calm down. People really need to calm down, okay? Whales will do what they can, but there's so much strong hands at this point that Bitcoin's really not moving. It's not moving at all. And if it does move, somehow there's some coordinated attack to drive Bitcoin lower before expirations, that's fine. View it as a buying opportunity. Take advantage of the low prices. But, you know, this is a good example of diamond hands, because you go on CMC and you refresh, you realize, okay, overall market cap is only down 1.77%. But you look at BTC dominance went down. This morning when I was streaming, it was 59.8%. Look at it. It's 59.7%. This shows you that retail investors in this space, more and more, is not falling for it. They're like, I'm holding on great projects. I'm holding on great, fantastic projects. Why should I sell when the whales are trying to manipulate Bitcoin's price? And that's exactly right. You don't want to fall for that, because we know that there should be zero panic at 55,000 Bitcoin. We know Bitcoin is going to go much higher. So why would you fall for these games? No, you want to take advantage of the bargains and you want to continue holding these great projects. That's why when I tweeted earlier today, I'm like, you know how things have changed. When Bitcoin goes down, altcoins go up, and people are like, what are you smoking? What altcoins are up? Well, just take a look. Just take a look. There's plenty of green today, including one of my favorites, Theta, that continues to go higher and higher and higher. And they're going to flip Chainlink in the near future, possibly as soon as tomorrow. They continue to go higher. And one of the projects I don't like, and I'm going to cover them today, XRP is up a staggering 12% too. And I have a very informative video about XRP down the road that I'll show you guys. But you go down the list, there's a lot. Crypto.com, a lot of you guys love Crypto.com. But even if you don't look at a 24-hour, just don't even look at 24-hour. Look at the last 7 days, and that's a real telling sign that altcoin season is here. So look at Bitcoin for the past 7 days. It's in the green, barely, 1%, not even. But you look at some of these others, I mean, look at Cardano. It's up 12%. Binance Coin is up 3-4%. Polkadot is up 6%. XRP 32, Uniswap 13, Theta up 61%, Terra up 18%. You know, do you notice the trend? All of these projects, VeChain, one I love, Crypto.com, Filecoin, IOTA, even Tron. You go down the list, 7-day performance, almost every altcoin is outperforming Bitcoin, right? And today, even with the dip, there's still more. Like Kusama is another one. Polkadot's, you know, baby cousin chain. You know what? They're up a staggering 11% and up 47% for the week, right? So there's a lot. There's a lot of greens today. There's a lot of fantastic projects, and I love seeing how not everyone is panicking at this point. There's more and more people building up diamond hands, and that's what you need to do, because there is zero need to be panicking. There is zero need to be panicking. And I don't know why one other person, one other influencer or YouTuber today caused this scarce and said, oh, Bitcoin may fall down to $17,000. Are you serious? Are you kidding me? Do you really think that's going to happen? Or are you saying that to just, I don't know why, to cause FUD? There is zero chance that that's going to happen. Absolutely zero chance. There's more chance of aliens invading Earth than Bitcoin falling to 17,000. So, I mean, it's just ridiculous to be spreading FUD like that. Right now, it's definitely time to be enjoying the gains, step back, look at your portfolio, look at your last month's gains, and then realize how silly it is for you to be like worried about Bitcoin falling down a few thousand points. In fact, like I said, it is actually up compared to the same time yesterday. It's actually up 1.44% versus this time yesterday. So just think about that. So in fact, it actually didn't go down at all. It actually went up versus yesterday. So think about that. Think about that. All right. So I'm going to cover a few projects next that I really don't like, but I'm going to cover for you guys because I know you guys deserve it and you guys are asking these questions. What's that super chat? What if Bitcoin is actually a grand plan to destroy all money, like what happened at the end of the Fight Club? I don't even remember what happened at the end of the Fight Club. I just know that the guy was imagining everything, but I don't know about anything else. Anyways, that's a fantastic movie, and you don't have original movies like that anymore. All right, so let's cover the first one, which is XRP. And I have informed a video about XRP and Ripple. In case you guys want to learn more, you got to wait until the end of the video though, because it's so good. You have to wait. You have to wait for it. I'm gonna make you wait for it. Anyways, as for XRP, why it's been going up is because of this. Ripple's lawyer says that the judge hearing this case between SEC and XRP is going very favorably for Ripple because the judge is making comments like, if does it mean that anyone selling or buying XRP means that they're violating security laws? And the lawyer's like, no, but the judge is basically questioning a lot of things. And also the judge is making note that XRP is useful and it is being used as utility, right? So the lawyer is saying that, this is very positive. So this is a very early case. I would not just rest on these two comments to as if Ripple won. But that's why a lot of people are very, hopeful for XRP to fly up again and this and that, right? And even my cousin, which I don't speak to very often, but, he recently just texted me. He's like, hey, I know this guy that just put in like 100K or something, or a big amount of money into XRP because he thinks that the ruling is going to be favorable. It's going to go skyrocketing upwards, right? And I'm like, you know what? I don't really like XRP. It could happen, right? But you want to have a phone conversation and talk about it. And he's like, no, I don't have time. I'm like, okay. Okay. You text me about it. You want to learn more about it. I'm trying to give you my time to explain it. And then you're like, no, I don't have time. And I'm like, okay, then that's the last time I'm going to try to explain anything to you. But that's the reason why XRP is going up. A lot of XRP Army thinks that this will solve everything. Once the lawsuit is over, XRP is going to go straight to $589. But I beg to differ. I don't think that's going to be the case. All right, so that's XRP. Now, next one, going down the list, and where is it? Bittorent. Bittorent is up 116%. People keep asking me, what is going on with Bittorent? What is there? What is there? The only thing I can find is this article that talks about how Bittorent and Bittorent is having some kind of social media campaign again to win a Tesla. This is not the first time Justin tried to give out a Tesla. So somehow Binance and Huobi announced the promotions, and you can trade to share to win or whatever, right? This is the only thing I can find. There's nothing else going on with Bittorent. I don't trust any Tron-based projects out there, but I'm going to give them some credit because Tron fans have managed to push up Bittorent 116%. That's no easy thing to do. But is there anything logical that explains this? No, none. There's no logical explanation for it. So unfortunately, I don't have an explainer video on Bittorent like I do of XRP because it's so epic. All right, now moving down the list, what else is there? Pundi X, another one that I've been asked a lot about. What do you think about Pundi? What do you think about it? I've been basically saying, no, I don't like it. I never liked it. I don't like their premise of their terminals. I don't like their premise of MPXS being like a transactional day-to-day digital currency for the world. I think in both of those cases, they're going to fail, but they're going to try. But there is a logical reason, at least for this kind of movement, and that's because, number one, they are going to reduce their supply 1,000-fold to 1. And they're going to rename their new token to Pundi X instead of MPXX, which is a very complicated name. So they're going to do that, and that will start March 30th. And there's many different ways to do this. So this kind of explains it. And then the other thing that explains it is right afterwards, they're going to allow you to finally stake. And this is something that a lot of people have been looking for, because usually when you have native staking, it does help lock in tokens. And when the token supply gets decreased by 1,000%, or no, 1,000-fold, and when you have staking involved, well, then you know what? I think that, that's why it drove the prices up, right? Now, does it solve the two things I just said? No, it doesn't. But people like to feel like, you know what? Now that it's 1,000% less, 1,000 less tokens, or no, 1,000 times less tokens. So basically, you take their circulating supply right here and you divide it by 1,000. That somehow it makes the value go up 1,000%. It doesn't. 1,000-fold. I keep saying 1,000-fold, but 1,000%. 1,000% is just 10x. But it doesn't just make this worth 1,000 times more. That's not how it works, right? But people are looking forward to the staking, at least. I understand that's pretty new. They could still make traction, right? So at least there's something to explain Pundi X versus BTT versus XRP. Well, actually, XRP does have a reason, but it's not 100%. All right. And lastly, guys, if you super chat too quick, I'm gonna miss some. And tip, the bigger amount, the longer it stays up. I always get complaints like, why didn't you look at my super chat? I'm sorry. There's like 100 of them coming, and I miss a lot of them. All right, the next one I want to give a shout out to is Dent. Even one of my patrons keeps talking about Dent because he's like, well, look at the price. It went up like 1,000,000% within the last few months. And I keep saying, I don't like Dent because they're at mercy of the carriers. And that's still true. They are at the mercy of carriers. The only way your phone will work and the only way eSIM will work is the mobile carriers allows it to work. Now, Dent does have like a universal mobile plan, and they seem like they have a pretty good relationship with most carriers out there. So you can literally just sign up for their service, use their eSIM, and pretty much use it everywhere. But I'm pretty sure there's still places you go to that it just will not accept it. There's carriers that do not accept eSIM. There are carriers that don't accept Dent at all. And there's 25 million users they keep touting has been the same number for the last like 3 years. They have not added any significant users to their service. So why is Dent, going up to the moon? There's no reason for it other than people are looking at maybe leaders of a category. So when you look at like a leader of, let's say, the mobile space in crypto, the only one that comes to mind is really Dent. You look at something like Telcoin, they're not even in this space. Telcoin is more remittance. Dent is more like, you have mobile data everywhere. So that's the only thing I can think of. There's nothing else that's going for it. It's not getting into NFTs. It's not getting into DeFi. It's not doing a token reduction. There's no Tesla giveaway. I can't explain why it's going up, but yeah, there you go. So these are the 4 that I wanted to cover. That has been going up through the moon. I realize that, but keep in mind, just because something goes up in price does not mean that it's deserving of that. So don't chase the gains. I know a lot of people love to chase the gains. You get into something, you see it's pumping, and you're like, it has to be good. So I'm going to chase it. And whenever you chase the gains, that's usually when you get burned the most. You want to get in something before the gains come. You want to get involved with projects that has not pumped yet. And then when it does, that's when you're going to reap the rewards, right? So be careful about chasing the gains. Let the gains come to you. All right. So now let me get to Q&A. I'm sweating here, man. I'm sweating. All right. So Greg asks, can you explain the tremendous rise with Kusama? And I think it's because there's a trend right now with smart chain contract plays. So a lot of these chains have dual tokens. And DOT doesn't have a dual token, but DOT has a testbed chain, and that's Kusama. And it's much cheaper if you look at an overall market cap. So I think that's the reason why people are looking into it, because DOT itself has kind of stalled out a little bit. But if you look at something like Theta with their T-Fuel is on fire. V-Chain with their VThor also on fire. Neo with their gas also on fire. So I think that's the reason why Kusama went up so much. I'm not going to look at GSX. I did a sponsor review before. It's like backed by gold. I'm not sure if I really trust that at all. NFT real estate project. Yeah, first of all, I don't like tokenizing real estate. And second of all, I don't like VR. That's just not my thing. So I'm not going to like that project. This is an old project. This is a really old project. Yeah, from 2017. They're probably not going to come back. Decentralized fog computing platform. Yeah. I don't like these plays. Like, you know, sharing your platform, like sharing your compute power and stuff like that, especially on Ethereum. It just doesn't make any sense. It can't. B. Hurley asked, is ADA overvalued? In crypto terms, no, it's not. Could it ever catch up to ETH 2.0? Yes, it can. It can. Is it going to catch up like tomorrow? No. Is it next week? No. 6 months? Maybe. In a year? Quite possibly. But it's not just them. Everyone else up there, Binance Coin, Polkadot, all these guys. No, doesn't matter. I never did. I never put any significant amount into XRP. And the same thing with Litecoin. People say the same thing about Litecoin too. Like, oh, you must have lost a ton on Litecoin. No, I actually never had that much to begin with. They're just horrible projects. AirSwap, that's the one that's, I think, based on Fusion's technology. It's just not very appealing to me. Someone else asking about Apollo FinTech and GS token. I've looked at it before. You know, backed by gold and gold mining and all this stuff. I don't like it. I don't like it. Do you think Ecomi is a good buy at the minute? Well, Ecomi, you know, after their true market cap was revealed, I think a lot of people were a little off put by that because they're not a small cap. They're already $1.5 billion. With that said, can they go up more? Yes, I think so. Because NFTs are very hot. I don't think they're going to stop. Brad FWT Freeway token. What is this? Total return on the world's top investment products for everyone. New asset management platform that networks the world's top investment product for greater total return. So it's like a fund, right? I don't think that's necessary. I don't. If you go in crypto, you do your own homework, and you could pick up a lot of good altcoins without buying a fund and have them manage it for you or tell you what's best. Because just by being here, I think you learn a lot. And I think if you do more homework, you'll find managing your own funds is the best. ARK is an old project. No, I don't like them anymore. Cardia Chain. You know, financial app from Southeast Asia. I think mostly in Vietnam right now. It looks okay, but I think the location may hinder it for a little bit. Someone else asked about Cardia Chain. They have dual node technology which allows blockchain to communicate with each other without needing a deep understanding of each code. Okay, so they have a bridge aspect, but again, a financial app that, you know, basically a simple wallet, and you can send money from one to another. I believe they have staking. I believe they have an exchange, but primarily in Vietnam and Southeast Asia. So may be hard to catch on. What's your honest thoughts on Solana and their TPS rate? TPS rate doesn't matter. People can claim 50,000, 100,000, a million. Doesn't matter. You know, transactions really doesn't matter. It really depends on whether or not you can build useful dApps without slowing down the network. That's really it. And it's not just transaction rate. There's a lot of things that goes beyond that. But with that said, Solana seems to have a lot of good dApps coming on board. So I know Kin is also high flying right now, and there's others that come to Solana too. So I think they're good. Vesper, I think I looked at this before. Yeah, I looked at this before. Staking pool, basically. I mean, there's a lot of projects that's in this space, so. Thoughts on Cody has been pumping when others haven't. Well, there's a lot that's been pumping, but I do like Cody. Cody is pretty good. Helps people create financial apps. So white label financial apps. I think they're good. StormX, I think they're one of the projects I've been very neutral on. So I'll see. I'm talking to Sonny, I believe, tomorrow. So maybe that'll change my impression of StormX. I just want to get a rundown of what his vision is and what's going on. Man, there's so many people that's just like from the same team or something that's asking duplicate questions. I covered some already. I don't like plays where it's like a decentralized or like a cloud computing or something like that. Especially with computing, there's like renders with GPU. This one is for like I guess regular hardware, but it just doesn't make any sense. Hardware is cheap. You could get Intel or AMD processors for like next to nothing, and you could have vast amounts of power without paying for on a network, without congestion and all that. So it doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me. Fin X Flow. World's first hybrid liquidity aggregator. Define okay. This looks like a lot like Orion Protocol. So I would go with Orion Protocol if you want a liquidity aggregator. They have a lot more going for it. Another person asking about SOM. Or it's the same person. June asked, learning about your method and how you analyze alts. Okay, great. You mentioned Terra plenty of times. I was hoping you could talk about which specific aspect of Terra you like the most. First of all, I like the leadership a lot because they're proven leaders that built a really useful app already and already utilizing Terra's KWS or KWR stablecoin. Second of all, they're building other apps. Like they have a derivatives platform. Here, I'll just pull it up. Because I don't remember off the top of my head. So this is the one that exists already, Chai. And supposedly it's really used. Where's those apps? Where's those apps? Huh, they had Anchor's one. So that's like like a staking platform. They have another one, I forgot it's called. I think it's Maker. So that one is a derivatives platform. So even though they're a stablecoin maker, they create uses for their stablecoins. Unlike USDC, where the only purpose for USDC is to transfer from one to another, one exchange to another. But there's no real dApps that utilize it in any real fashion, right? That's where Terra is different because they actually create apps to give you use cases for those stable coins. So that's why I like it. And plus, I think the leadership is good. Jesus asked about XLM. I didn't think Jesus would care about XLM. I don't know what's going on with XLM. I don't know anything that they're doing recently. There's no real development news or anything like that. So I can't tell you. Can't tell you. Kevin, thank you. $10 will pay for a case of White Claw. Steve, thank you. Hathor. I think I looked at Hathor before too. Scalable and easy to use blockchain for digital assets. Okay. Why we are different. High scalability. Easy to use. Any 13-year-old kid can create their own token for fun. You don't need to know about gas validity. Okay, so you can create your own token on Ethereum. So that's good. That's pretty much it. So they're going to come out the DEX for their own tokens and so forth. So, yeah, you could just download a wallet and get started, huh? It's that easy. You need to fill out a form in less than a minute. Your token's ready to be used. Well, that sounds pretty good. Recently, I started using this other project called Rally, which is meant for creators to create a token. And they have a really easy thing to do, easy setup, but they have to do it for you. And it takes some time. So hopefully I can get a George token out next week. But this could be good. This could be good. I want to see really how easy it is. Because they claim you could do it in minutes. I want to see if that's really real. But without a DEX, I don't know how you get a liquidity pool and get people to be able to buy and stuff like that. But they're on KuCoin. Hathor could be good. I'm going to put that on my maybe list. One to look at. What else is there? Can you explain the differences between the charts, hourly, daily, weekly? It's just different time frames. You know, daily, if you want to trade, you want to look at 1 minute and 5 minute. Okay, so if you're actually like day trading, you look at 1 minute, 5 minute, and then basically 5 minutes is an extension of 15 minutes. So you notice how 15 minutes, basically it's going up, but 5 minutes you'll see that it's basically a zoomed in view of the 15 minutes. But you know, with the 15 minutes, you don't see all the little details, right? The up and downs. On the 5 minute, you do. You could see there are a lot more dips this way, right? So each time frame is just an extension of another one. In the 1 hour, you know, it's mostly green, and you don't even see any red because this time frame is based on 1 hour. This is based on 15 minutes or 5 minutes, 1 minute, right? So if you're looking at something that is going to last for days, right, then you go look at the 4 hour. If you want something that goes for weeks, then you look at a day. You know, if you want something that's months, you go with the weekly and then monthly, and there's always, right? But when in doubt, when you have doubt about Bitcoin's progress, I highly suggest everyone just go on a daily and to realize that there is absolutely no room for panic right now. No room for doubts. When you see Bitcoin do this, okay, you know it's going the right direction. And even looking at right now, I mentioned this morning, so some of the indicators like stochastic is coming down. It's coming down despite the fact that Bitcoin didn't really come down. Look at previous time where it went down here and went down here. There were a lot more movement, a lot more volatility. So right now, this is actually a really, really calm time for Bitcoin. Really calm time for good and for bad, right? So I don't know if that explains it to you. Hopefully that does a little bit. Matic, promising blockchain layer 2 solution. A lot of, you know, I'm hearing a lot of apps moving to Matic. There's some DeFi projects that's moving to Matic. I think one that I haven't mentioned maybe for a long time is EasyFi. They're like a pretty good small cap that is on Matic, but there's a lot of others that are riding on Matic also. So they're a good one. They're a good one. You talked about Limpo a good bit. They had an offering, which is it's too late, right? That conversion for the new LMT that expired already. So, but the old Limpo token, there's still gonna be a use for it. There's still gonna be a staking pool for it. You know, for those of you guys that didn't watch this interview, right? I highly, highly, highly suggest you watch this. If you care anything about NFTs, Watch this interview with Yatsu of Animoca Brands. Not a lot of people have heard of Animoca Brands, but listen to him and realize how big he is going to be. He's going to dominate NFTs in it's not even going to be close. And all the projects he's run have been really, really, really good. And he has a grand vision for them, and Limpo is one of them. So if you haven't watched this interview, you really should do so. You really should. You'll learn a lot. Should I buy ETH or more downside? I don't know. Last time ETH bottomed out around 1500, that's when Bitcoin was a lot lower. So I don't know if it's actually going any lower, you know. If it does, then great. If you want to buy some to spread out your buys, you know, split it 2 ways, 3 ways, 5 ways, so that you don't really miss out on anything. You buy a little bit here, a little bit there, right? Your dollar cost averaging for long haul, and that way you can't lose. You can't lose. All right, guys, that's pretty much it. So overall, Bitcoin is at 55,000. Definitely not time to be panicking like I've been saying this whole stream. The whales will do their thing. They're going to try to drive out retail investors, but you guys are better. You guys have diamond hands, and when you have diamond hands, this kind of movement doesn't scare you. And the funny thing is, look at it. Versus this time yesterday, Bitcoin is actually up. It's not down. It's actually up 1.74%. So that's the funny thing. And people are panicking and saying Bitcoin will go down to 17K. What is people talking about, right? And in the meantime, people that have been taking advantage, dollar cost averaging, taking advantage of the bargains, you know what? That's why altcoins are so strong. That's why you got to have a diversified portfolio, which is why BTC dominance continues to come down and down and down, right? Having a good diversified portfolio definitely helps in these times. Theta, another new high. Yes, I've been saying Theta's going to be a big cap. They are, and they're going to flip with Chainlink and flip with Litecoin pretty soon. Just wait for that. Wait for that. All right, guys. That's it. Thanks for tuning in. As always, smash a like, subscribe to the channel. Like I promised, for those of you guys that want to know more about XRP, this is the most informative video you'll ever watch. This will definitely blow your mind. So enjoy.
What do you think about Ripple?
Well, I mean, I think it's too centralized, but I definitely want to meet Chris Larson.